Well, well, it's been a while, hasn't it? You know, it's not easy for me either. You left, cutting all ties, and disowned me, and yet here you are. I've had to endure hearing rumors about being the evil mother-in-law who drove her son and daughter-in-law away. You just up and changed your phone number, your messages, everything. It took me 5 years to get this number. 5 years. Now tell me, what have you been doing all this time while you've been keeping my son away from me? How are you spending your days now after pulling Daniel into your little estrangement game?
Wait, Andrea? How dare you call me by my first name so casually? You're still not my equal, no matter what happened between us.
You really don't have the decency to at least ask why I'm calling after all this time? I mean, we both know you went through all that trouble to distance yourself from me, but now here I am, tracking you down.
I changed my number after we cut ties. How did you even get this one?
Oh, you want the truth? Well, I guess it's because, as much as I hate admitting it, I'm a mother who cares for her son. I've spent 5 years tracking you down to get your contact details, all for my son. Does that answer your question?
For your son? What does that even mean?
Don't play innocent with me. You've always twisted everything, including the truth. I was accused of mistreating you, of being a terrible mother-in-law, all while you worked behind the scenes to turn my son against me. I don't know how you did it, but I knew I had to get in touch with you to fix this. You've kept Daniel away from me for so long, but don't think for a second that I've forgotten about him. So, how about it, Andrea? Give me Daniel's contact information.
Why on earth would I give you his contact info?
Because, whether you like it or not, Daniel is my son. It's your fault, after all, that we're in this mess. But now that I've reached you and I know where you are, it's practically the same as reaching Daniel, right? Come on, just give me the number already. You can't keep playing these games with me forever.
I'm sorry, but I don't have it. I don't know where Daniel is.
What? You don't know where he is? Are you seriously telling me that after all this time, after everything that happened, you can't get in touch with your own husband?
Oh, maybe you didn't hear, but Daniel and we're divorced. We've been separated for about a year now, actually. You didn't know? How convenient for you. There were a lot of differences between us, and as time went on, we couldn't bridge them. But you'd probably rather not know the truth. The divorce was peaceful, no drama. We've both moved on, and now I'm happily married to someone else.
Divorced? Oh, you're lying. You have to be.
Well, believe what you want. The divorce is real. I don't know what you've been imagining in your head, but Daniel and I are no longer together. I found happiness elsewhere, and you'd better accept that. But you can keep fantasizing all you like.
No! There's no way Daniel would leave me. If you're really divorced, then why hasn't Daniel come back to me? Why hasn't he come running back to his real family where he belongs? If you're lying about the divorce, then that means there is something else going on. I know he hasn't forgotten me.
He hasn't come back to you because he's not interested in you, Eve. Maybe it's hard for you to understand, but he's made his choices. And for the record, he's not coming back.
Then what about my grandson? You must have had a child. I've been hearing the rumors. You can't hide that forever. You've been keeping my grandchild from me, haven't you? I want to see him.
What are you talking about? I haven't had any children with Daniel.
Don't lie to me. I know you're hiding something. You think you can deceive me with all your lies, but I'm smarter than that. I've been hearing whispers, and I know you've had a child. So tell me the truth. Where is my grandson?
I'm telling you, Eve, I haven't had a child with Daniel. You're mistaken. There's no grandchild.
Then stop trying to cover it up. I've been patient enough. Now give me the information. If you're hiding him from me, I will take matters into my own hands.
I'm not hiding anything from you, and I don't owe you an explanation. But if you keep pressuring me like this, I will have no choice but to go to the authorities.
You're bluffing. I'll find out eventually, one way or another. One day you'll regret this. You'll see. I will make sure Daniel comes back to me and my family. He has no choice but to return.
Keep dreaming, Andrea. But if you keep this up, I won't hesitate to take action. Just remember, you're the one pushing things too far. Don't think I won't fight back.
Fine, but I know where you live. Don't think I won't come for you.
If you show up at my doorstep, I'll call the police. You've been warned. Now go and stay away from my life.
We'll see about that. You may think you're done with me, but I am not done with you. I'll be back. Prepare yourself.
Bro, what should I do? This is getting serious.
What happened?
My ex-mother-in-law is coming.
Wait, ex? You mean Daniel's mother?
Yeah, that's her. I don't know how she did it, but somehow after 5 years, she managed to track me down and sent me a message demanding I give her her grandchild.
What?
And apparently she knows where I live, too. She's planning to come here.
Have you told her you and Daniel are divorced already?
Of course. I told her we divorced years ago, and I even mentioned I remarried and didn't have any children with Daniel, but she refuses to believe me.
Have you talked to your husband about it?
I've explained everything to him, but right now he's on a business trip abroad. He's on the other side of the world, and no matter how hard he tries, it'll take him 2 days just to get back.
I see. Well, for now, you should head over to my place to stay safe.
Are you sure it's okay?
Of course, I can't let my sister face this alone. My wife is also saying, don't hesitate, come on over. Just gather your things and let me know. I'll come pick you up.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, I've arrived. Now hand over my grandchild.
Huh? Wait, are you here already?
Can't you hear the doorbell? And, oh my, look, there's my grandchild in the garden.
Wait, the garden?
Honestly, Eve, how could you leave a child out in the garden unattended like this?
We don't even have a garden.
Don't bother with your ridiculous excuses. I am taking my grandchild with me right now.
What? That child isn't mine, is it?
Well, I'll just take this child into my care. A bad wife like you clearly can't be trusted to raise a child, so it's better I do it. Andrea? What child do you think you're trying to take? This is not my child, nor is it your grandchild. Oh, he's such a sweet boy.
Please, you have to listen to me.
I've told you I won't listen to your nonsense. I'm taking the child now.
But this is wrong. You can't do this.
I'll be taking him now.
No, please, Andrea. Bro, sorry to bother you while you're working, but something really bad might have happened.
What now? What's going on this time?
It's my ex-mother-in-law. Apparently she showed up, like she's actually here.
What? Already? But wait, you said she was just bluffing, didn't you?
I thought so too, but it seems like she didn't come straight to my apartment.
What do you mean? Where the hell is she then?
I'm not exactly sure. She called me, ranting about how my child was outside in the garden and how I was some negligent mother for leaving them out there. But the only thing is, my place is an apartment. There is no garden, nowhere even close to what she's describing.
Huh? What the hell's she talking about then?
That's what I can't figure out. All she said was that some kid was outside playing and she decided that's her grandchild and took him.
She what? Are you serious? She just grabbed some random kid?
I'm hoping it's just some sick joke or a way to get under my skin. But honestly, you know how obsessed she was about grandkids when I was still married to Daniel. It's not impossible that she's actually serious this time.
Call the police now!
Huh? You think I should?
Think? Eve, she just basically confessed to kidnapping a kid. If there's even a chance she's serious, you can't ignore it. You need to contact the police, have them check it out. She wouldn't even listen to you, right? So don't hold back. Let the authorities deal with this mess.
Yeah, you're right. I can't just sit here hoping it's a misunderstanding. I'll call them right now.
Eve, What the hell do you think you're doing? I just got a call from the neighbors saying there are police at my house. This is your doing, isn't it?
Andrea, where exactly are you right now?
I'm on the train, of course, with my precious grandbaby right by my side.
You didn't do anything to hurt that child, did you? Please tell me you haven't crossed that line.
Of course not. What kind of grandmother do you think I am? I would never hurt my own grandchild.
Once again, I will make this very clear. That child is not related to you in any way. That's someone else's child entirely.
And once again, I told you, I'm not listening to your nonsense.
Fine, then let's try this another way. How old is that child, Andrea? How old does he look to you?
Huh? Well, I asked him just now. He's showing me 3 fingers. So he says he's 3.
Exactly. And for your information, the only child I have right now is still inside my belly. I'm currently pregnant, Andrea. And even if the baby were born, it wouldn't be your grandchild. It would be my current husband's child, not Daniel's.
What are you saying? But my grandbaby is sitting right here beside me.
Andrea, don't you think that's exactly why the police are now standing outside your house? You've taken someone else's child.
What?
Tell me something. Why did you assume this particular 3-year-old boy was yours?
Because I went to that house near the south exit of S Station in S City, the house where you and Daniel used to live, remember? The kid was playing in the yard. Obviously, that must be my grandson.
Andrea, that house? That was a rental. Daniel and I moved out of there right after we cut ties with you. That was over 4 years ago. We don't live there anymore. We haven't for a long, long time.
What?
In fact, I heard that right after we moved out, a young newlywed couple moved in. The wife was already pregnant at the time, which means, yeah, their child would be about 3 years old now, wouldn't they?
Wait, so this boy is...
Most likely that boy is their son. And I've just heard that the parents reported him missing, saying their son disappeared while playing in their yard.
No. Then where is my grandbaby supposed to be?
Like I told you, there is no grandchild, at least not from me. And while I still have the chance, there's something I need to tell you, Andrea. Something I probably should have told you long ago.
What now?
The reason Daniel cut you out of his life wasn't just because of me. It was because of your possessiveness and your constant interference that broke him down emotionally. You suffocated him, Andrea. You also made my life hell back then with your constant accusations and harassment. Daniel saw how toxic you had become, and he had enough. That's why he made the choice to cut you out entirely.
That's not true. Daniel. My Daniel.
Oh, and by the way, Daniel is living overseas now, in the U.S. My brother did some digging for me last night, and we confirmed it. He's keeping his location private, and from what we know, he has no intention of coming back to the U.S. anytime soon.
No. You're lying. Daniel wouldn't.
Believe what you want, but that's the truth. This is the end of our conversation, Andrea. Now do the right thing. Take that child back to his real parents immediately.
I never meant for any of this to happen. I just wanted to have Daniel back, and my grandchild. I just wanted to live with them again, like before.
Not long after the chaotic events that had unfolded, we received a call from the police informing us that the child had been safely located and was now in their protection. The relief that washed over me was indescribable. For hours, I had been trapped in a state of unbearable anxiety, fearing the worst. Every passing minute felt like an eternity as I imagined all kinds of horrifying scenarios. But now, with that one phone call, the unbearable tension that had been gripping my heart finally began to loosen its cruel hold. It turned out that the police had anticipated the possibility of the child being taken toward the nearest train station by the person responsible, my ex-mother-in-law. As such, they had strategically stationed officers at the most likely exits. It was a calculated move on their part, one that ended up proving to be crucial. According to the report we received, my former mother-in-law had indeed attempted to flee the area while holding the 3-year-old in her arms. She tried to slip through the ticket gates at the station, but her behavior had immediately drawn the attention of the stationed officers. She was acting oddly, glancing around nervously, clutching the child tightly as though afraid someone would try to take them away. The officers didn't hesitate. They quickly intervened, questioning her and eventually taking her into custody when she couldn't explain her erratic behavior or produce any legal documentation granting her custody of the child. In a moment of harsh but necessary decisiveness, the child's parents, devastated and shaken by the ordeal, filed an official kidnapping complaint against her. There was no room for leniency this time. The safety of their child had been endangered, and there could be no compromise on that point. The police made it clear that, given the severity of the crime and the circumstances under which it was carried out, my former mother-in-law would most certainly face formal charges and, most likely, prison time. Though I had once called her family, at that moment all traces of former affection or loyalty vanished. What she had done was unforgivable, and no amount of familial history could excuse such a violation. From the police's tone and what we heard afterward, it seemed almost certain that she would face an actual prison sentence, which meant she would live out her final years in solitude and disgrace. Even if she managed to avoid a lengthy sentence due to her age or health, the isolation awaiting her was all but guaranteed. The bridge she burned with her actions could never be rebuilt. Life, however, has its way of spinning strange, unexpected turns. A few weeks after the incident, I received a phone call. It was through an old acquaintance of mine, someone I hadn't heard from in ages. She informed me that my ex-husband had reached out, desperate to speak with me. After everything, I didn't think I'd ever hear his voice again, especially not after we had made our final bitter goodbyes. But out of curiosity, and perhaps a small shred of unresolved history, I agreed to take the call. When I heard his voice on the other end of the line, it was trembling. His words came out in a flurry of apologies, his tone heavy with regret and sorrow. Despite the distance between us, oceans and continents apart, it was clear he had been keeping up with the news of what had happened. He sobbed as he told me how sorry he was for everything that his mother had done. Even though we had been divorced for years, even though we had gone our separate ways, he still felt responsible in some way for the pain his family had caused me. Between his tears, he confessed that he was now remarried to a local woman in the country where he had settled. They had a child together, a boy, just a few months younger than ours. His life had moved forward, much like mine, yet hearing him speak with such raw emotion reminded me that some wounds never completely fade. I listened quietly, offering him no condemnation, but also no comfort. I simply let him pour out the guilt he had carried all this time. Once he had calmed down, we exchanged updates on our lives, each recognizing that the chapters we shared were now behind us, sealed off by time, distance, and the scars left by choices we both made. There was a strange sense of closure in that call. We had both carved out new lives for ourselves, created new families, and yet, in that brief conversation, we acknowledged the shadows of our past that still lingered, however faintly.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.